welcome into Blue Jays Today, folks, where we always have something to say about the Toronto Blue Jays. Coming to you from the Sports Interaction Studio. Tonight, folks, we are going to be breaking down that Jesus Sanchez trade a little bit more for those of you who missed it earlier in the day. Joey Loperfido out, Jesus Sanchez in. This is all on the eve of the injury updates in Santander. Shane Bieber, too, not that he had really a role to play in this trade happening, but maybe a role to play in some future trades going on. So we're going to talk about all of that, as well as just all of the spring training camp updates that we're getting right now. It is a beautiful time for baseball fans because every time you log into Twitter or Instagram or what have you, it's a new highlight. It's Tyler Rogers throwing. It's Cody Ponce throwing. It's Vladdy hitting a nuke. It's Jose Barrios striking out Vladdy on something that Vladdy thought wasn't a strike in the first place. It is just a beautiful time right now to be a Toronto Blue Jays fan and just a baseball fan in general. So we are going to enjoy all of those moments with all of you. I'm your host, Nicholas Playlock.
I'm your host, Adam Peddle. Baseball is back, ladies and gentlemen. And for those hardcore fans out there, I'm sure you're all over Twitter just like we are, looking at all the videos, staying up to date. But if you're a casual fan and you're coming in here, first of all, let yourself be known in the chat if, like, this is your first or second season or maybe of Blue Jays baseball, or maybe you're just starting to dabble in and get a little bit deeper into baseball. You want to understand a little bit more because this is a great time to get an understanding of the team. And then going into spring training, knowing what to look for. All the storylines are coming to a head right now. So, yeah, right now we're just kind of reacting, talking about our favorite Blue Jays storylines and getting deep into it, man. Dude, I love this time of year.
It'd be pretty weird if this was somebody's I guess third year, because I think he said second or third year. If this was their second year being a fan, does that means that they were a fan last year and only last year?
Yeah, last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
It'd be weird if you had any 3-year, like this is your third year being a fan.
You'd be a fan when they were
that
bad.
means that you would have decided to be a fan in 2024.
Right.
And that fucking sucked, dude. I don't know if anybody actively made that conscious choice. I was thinking, man, I got to get out of here. I got to stop being a fan of this after all of that. But who knows? Maybe some people enjoy the pain. If they do, then that is why you're in sports in the first place. But welcome into the 123 people who are joining us right now. I see somebody in the chat saying Nick Castellanos on a plane to Toronto. Wow, hilarious joke. Very funny, very original. But I just learned the funniest thing about Nick Castellanos. Adam told me this. I hadn't seen it. This is – I'm going to start out by saying this, okay? Nick Castellanos might genuinely have the biggest set of balls in all of MLB. Out of every single MLB player, and there's a lot of them out there who's got a big set of balls, right? Like they'll
Which
come.
ones?
I mean, it feels like Bryce Harper comes to mind as somebody who is always ready to fight, always ready to scrap, call somebody out, right? That he's somebody that just immediately comes to mind that would have a big set of balls. His teammates got a bigger set of balls. Nick Castellanos. This is unequivocally the most ridiculous story that I have ever heard come out of MLB. Maybe since Tony La Russa fell asleep during a game. Yeah. This is on that level of ridiculousness. Walk us through how Nick Castellanos decided that he was going to bring a beer into the Phillies dugout and drink it in front of the manager.
Well, shout out to Isan right here making this article on USA Today. We use all their photos. Thank you, USA Today. I mean, dude, Nick Castellanos is an emotional guy. And his teammates know it. Everyone knows it around the league. When he got benched one game in the regular season, it was like the 8th inning he got benched. He wasn't too happy about it, and he decided to go back to the clubhouse, grab a beer, and the way he talked about it was a really good tasty beer. I don't know the brand, not sponsored. But it was a really good beer. He wanted to go over, sit next to his manager, and crack it open and have a drink right next to him. He was out of the game. Might as well start cracking open the beer.
That's true,
I've
right?
done my job.
I might as well just be the fan now.
Exactly.
Right?
If I'm not playing, I'm out. I can't be put back into the game.
It's like
So obviously he's riding some emotions after being pretty offended he got benched. And I believe he was going through a rough stretch. So he got benched, got pinch hit for or whatever. And then his teammates came, took the beer from him. Like, dude, what the F are you doing? You cannot be drinking a beer on the clock. And they had a big fight in the office afterwards with the management. We don't know exactly what was said, of course, but now we got the update just a couple days ago. He's been cut from the team, and part of that reason kind of stemmed from this, and is part of that all this frustration from his end, their end, and his emotionalness. So That's what happened. Honestly, though, kind of a vibe. I fuck with it. When we first started watching baseball, I'm like, yo, dude, like, I mean, they're doing tobacco in the dugout. I don't know if they do too much. I think they got maybe like the little pouches now, but like they used to spit tobacco everywhere. I mean, that's while they were playing. If this guy's up bench, all right. I mean, that's my opinion. Crack a beer.
Tell you what, man. Like I have or at least I did have a deep respect for the Philadelphia Phillies organization. They were always considered to be, in my opinion, my second team. That this knocks them down a few pegs because you said, well, you're not allowed to drink a beer on the clock. He's not on the clock anymore.
He's not. He got
benched, you took him out of the game. It is an impossibility to bring him back into that ball game. Yeah. He has no more work to do from this point on until the following game tomorrow.
Correct.
And what you're saying that a man who has put in their time, who has done their shift, who has clocked in, isn't allowed to enjoy a cold one after a hard day's work?
Yeah.
What the fuck are we? That is so. Listen, we're a Canadian podcast, but they're in America. That is so un-American, right?
That's right.
That feels like you're killing the American dream. You're telling the hardworking individual that after they're done work, they're not even allowed to crack up. What are we saying to our fans?
And again, it's not even like okay, I get it. Like, oh, he's drinking alcohol. He'll be on camera and he's like representing the Phillies and that could look bad. You had guys for generations spitting tobacco, which we can make a lot of arguments about what's better or worse for you. That's pretty damn freaking bad. But no, we can't have a beer. What is this double standard? You know, what is this double standard, MLB?
Drinking responsibly.
Yeah.
And that's like this. Listen, man, I know it's all a little ridiculous because at the end of the day, it's like he was still in the dugout and you are representing your team, right? Like your team is still playing a game, and therefore you shouldn't be. It's all kind of fucking La La Land nonsense though, right? It's like it's exactly right, like that Matthew McConaughey tweet or that quote, right?
From the Wolf of Wall
Street. From Wolf of Wall Street. I mean,
scene.
Listen, he's not ever good. He's not playing anymore. You decided to take him out of the ball. If he was still in the ball game and he cracked that beer, okay, we got a big problem.
He's benched now.
We got a big problem right now. But like you said, you got a ton of individuals chewing tobacco on your team, which, by the way, I have always wondered why that is such a that's such a baseball thing.
I have no idea. Growing up, like even teams on my or guys on my high school team were doing tobacco, and I was like, first of all, like, you know, I've had nicotine before, and it's like I couldn't focus throwing this ball into this spot. With all this going on in my brain, like there's too much motion going on. Like maybe they're used to it.
They're so used to it. Listen, we're not insider info here. We're not big nicotine guys. You know, we don't really. We got our other vices, but that's definitely not one of them. At least where I'm concerned. So yeah, like if I ever was to toss any of that in, it is one of these for me. Like it's genuinely like a cartoon character seeing stars. And I'll tell you what, if I was playing a professional sport, I could easily drink a beer and keep playing said professional sport at a very high level. I would actually have a problem, and this is because I never chew tobacco at all. But if you slot in some tobacco at my upper lip, I'm gonna have a fucking problem.
I know. I'm like they just it's like a downhill spiral. Like, it just, like, continues to get more and more and more motion. What's going on? Yeah, dude, I've been at the cottage or even just, you know, on a Thursday playing golf, you know, drinking a beer, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe by the 6th when I start to get out of sorts. But, you know, I'll have a couple and I'll be just regular, you know, 22 handicap, 25 handicap me.
This is uncalled for. This is below the belt, George Betson. This is actually this is a timeout. This is a penalty.
This guy's like calling you out like crazy.
This
What's
is
going on
full-on violation, dude. He's saying Nick can't even drink 10 beers and stay professional watching the games. I completed, I believe it was 11 and a half actually. And I was as professional as anyone should be expected to be at that point of time.
Well, you guys, if you know what we're talking about, we did a 9x9x9. When was that? Like May or something?
Early in the season, yeah.
Early
We will
we're
be
gonna
doing
do
it
some
again.
more.
We're going to be doing it again, and we promised you guys that we would be doing a Hot Wings challenge where it was 9 of the hottest wings in Toronto and then 9 fireball shots or whatever have you. And we were going to do that. We just never actually got to it because the Jays decided that they were going to get really good at baseball.
Right.
And we felt like that took priority over us being idiots. So you can honestly blame the Toronto Blue Jays for deciding that they were going to go to the World Series for no secondary 9x9x9. But this year we will plan ahead. We will do the first one probably sometime around May when some of the opening day hype has died down, and then we'll try to get the second one going for maybe June or July or
August
what have
or
you,
whatever.
You know?
Yeah, we'll make sure of it this year, guys. And we got also, without spoiling things, we don't have pen to paper yet, but got some exciting sponsors coming up soon. I think you guys will all enjoy to help us out with that. Also, last kind of note on the Nick Castellanos thing. This was before the Jesus Sanchez trade. People are kind of thinking that like Nick Castellanos could be a good pickup for the Blue Jays. Obviously, I think at this point that's not going to happen. I don't know necessarily if I would have been on board. I mean, his career is awesome, but you know, he's been slowly declining the last couple of years, and his defense has been really not that good. And he's had a negative WAR last year. You know, like I don't know. What would your thoughts be on picking up a guy like this?
So here's the big problem for me, and this is actually where the beer thing comes into play.
You can't be drinking a beer when you're like this.
Listen, if you were on the Chicago White Sox, okay, I get it. You're out, man. Like, not only are you getting taken out of the game, but mentally speaking, you're checked out. The team's checked out.
It's almost fitting, actually. To crack a beer if you're on the White Sox.
If you're on the White Sox, right? That feels like we're having fun, right? This is more of a recreational game, like
beer league,
a beer league than anything else, right? So that would make sense. The problem is that you weren't. You were on a very competitive team that's been a very competitive team, and you still checked out and went and grabbed a beverage, right? So whilst in a vacuum it feels okay, it does lead me to believe that even on a hyper-competitive team, you were kind of putting yourself and your ego before the actual squad. Yeah, and that I think would be a problem. I don't, and then plus too, I mean, you weren't very good, right?
No,
so if you brought an 800 OPS along with you, okay, now we can talk, man. Well, listen,
we're having a conversation.
Yeah, say don't maybe advertise that you are drinking during the game. Keep it below the bench, but what, we can work with this. All right, we can make it happen.
Put it in a Yeti container.
Yeah, listen, what the viewers don't know won't hurt them, but you're not bringing that over right now. You'd be bringing over a negative .8 WAR and an OPS plus of 88. So yeah, I don't really think that this would be the move, and I actually like the addition of Jesus Sanchez, even though it required us to give up Joey Loperfido more than I would have liked them to pick up Nick Castellanos, because at the very least, Jesus Sanchez, the more I look at it, the more excited I get. At the very least, he's got upside, he's still young, and he has a defined role on this team that he might not only just be okay at, but he could thrive at.
Yeah. I mean, the more stuff comes out about him, the more I'm starting to really buy into, again, like I said off the top, his story. He was he could be a late bloomer at this rate, because there was a lot of hype around him when he first came up to the league. And now it feels like he kind of took a little bit of a step forward in the right direction, even though the overall numbers don't show it from last year, because he didn't have a very good season last year. The OPS wasn't good. Batting average wasn't good. But you look at everything in his peripherals, and he actually made some strides in the right direction to actually complement what the Blue Jays are trying to do.
Well, and also, too, just to note, very difficult to break out when you're on the Miami Marlins.
Very hard to do that.
That's not a good team, dude.
That's another team you could crack a beer on the bench and no one really.
And nobody would give a flying fadoodle if you did so, right? I mean, I like if David Popkins is the GOAT of hitting coaches, that's the opposite is over there with Miami. They get the worst out of their players.
Yeah, right. So he needs a nice fresh start, a new season. This could be the year for him in 2025. Again, like high on leverage baseball is saying here. The numbers don't show it, but the peripherals do a little bit. He actually cut his whiff rate down by 5.3%. That was a big thing he had. He's a big strikeout guy. Power guys typically strike out a lot more. Well, he dropped his K rate down by 4%. He added 0.7 mile per hour of bat speed and increased his pull percentage and fly ball percentage. Whenever we think about Vladdy, we think about those numbers right there. We need more pull. We need more fly ball to really unlock that power.
Yeah.
And even though his slugging wasn't very high, it was at .395 last year, his expected numbers, if you're a believer in that, is .441. And again, like, I'm not saying he's going to do all the things. He's going to take a major step forward. It's just everything's pointing in the right direction to complement a David Popkins offense, you know.
I think that the expected slugging is actually very telling, and the reason is because so rarely do you actually see expected numbers higher than the actual numbers.
Yeah.
I've been doing this for a long time now. We both have, and it's almost always that those numbers are wildly conservative and underneath what the actuality really is.
Right.
That's not the case here. You know, a lot of times those numbers tell us that a player is going to decline. Now they're telling us that a player is actually going to get better and that he was getting rather unlucky last season. I think that this could play a ton at Rogers Center. And I love the idea that all of the lefties that we do have are pull power, baby.
Yeah,
like
Varsho, Barger.
It's abundantly clear what they're trying to do, which is we know that we got a short porch over there. We know that it could play. If our lefties get a hold of a few, then bang, like all of a sudden we are cooking with gasoline. Our righties get on base and poke it the other way. Our lefties pull it over the fence.
Yeah.
And that feels right now like what this lineup could accomplish. Barger, Varsho, Sanchez, all of them. Violent swings, hard-hitting swings, capable of, I think, in a ceiling type. Maybe I'm overreacting here with Sanchez, but certainly the other two of them in a ceiling type of year, 30 plus.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
One of them might hit 30 plus this year. In fact,
I think that
bet on
well,
it,
I think if there was let me ask you this: if there was a line, that said Barger, Varsho, Sanchez. One of the three to hit 30-plus home runs. Would you take that?
Probably. What do you think would it be favorited, you think? Maybe not.
It'd be close, man.
Maybe
It would be close. I think it would be maybe the slight underdog because 30 is still a lot.
It's a lot.
And you feel like you're getting good value because there's three guys there, but 30 is still a lot.
Because, I mean, you're looking at Jesus Sanchez, the projections. They're only projecting him to get 17, Barger 20, and then Varsho. They're actually projecting Varsho to get 29. He might be your best bet if he could stay healthy this year. But I'd take it because I still think, you know, whenever people ask us, like, what are your hot takes? Addison Barger, whenever they always ask, oh, like, on our Instagram, we do these hot take videos. And we'll always ask you guys, like, what's your hot take? What's your hot take? And then you guys will send in Barger 30 home runs. And I'm always thinking, hell yeah. Like, that's not even that hot. Like, I truly believe in a full season, if he gets into a good hot stretch, 30 is well within his range.
I'm worried that we're starting to get too high right now.
It happens every year.
That's a problem.
It
happens every year, and I'm trying to combat myself because there's so much stuff to like about Addison Barger. There's just so many things that point the arrow upwards for me. What for you would be you're disappointed? Like, what would you be okay with? What are you happy with? I know it's really easy to say, well, yeah, like he could end up doing it. Because you're right, he could end up having a 900 OPS and flirting with 40 home runs. He could do that.
Yeah.
But what would you actually be happy with? And maybe, like, what's reasonable to expect from Addison Barger?
Yeah, like, honestly, a reasonable expectation is some minor growth, like, reasonably. You know, maybe he bumps the average up 10 points. He's hitting 253. The on base is up to 320. The slugging is up 30 points, 480. Like, and then all that being said, like, boom, now you're looking at around an 800 OPS. Maybe you give and take a little bit there. Maybe I'm being a little bit too optimistic. But yeah, like a mid to high 700 OPS, maybe low. If he touches 800, I'm very happy with his development. But that's what I should expect. If he regresses, honestly, below the 755 OPS mark, Yeah, I will be kind of disappointed because there is so much talent, and you look at what he can do in terms of the hard hit and the exit velo and everything, and the kind of role he can do on defense as well, and the arm strength. You kind of want him to also provide a great bat with all that too. So, yeah, I would be disappointed. What are your thoughts?
I'm trying to come up with it myself, but I think I would be. I don't know if happy's the right word, but I would be okay if he was the same player that he was last year.
Yeah, that's fine too, yeah.
And I think about the times where, like, there was a stretch. I think it was especially not the first month of baseball, but it was like the second or third month.
I can find it right
figure
here.
out for me.
Yeah,
but there was a stretch
about.
where Addison Barger won us a shitload of baseball games.
Oh, yeah, he did.
He was like a guy. And then you did see some fall off, some drop off, but there was a stretch where he was phenomenal. It was May. That's what I'm thinking of right now.
May,
I remember.
And July, too.
July, he also popped off like crazy, but I specifically remember May.
That's when he came onto the scene.
And it was like, oh, damn.
Yeah.
Addison Barger is here, and he's going insane mode. And he actually had like a 3-month stretch there, May, June, and July, where he went awesome.
And then he had a bad August
Then he had some bad months.
And then he had a great October, like in terms of the postseason.
But that's still a really good player for me. Yeah. And if you want to have like that kind of reminds me of what Lourdes Gurriel Jr. used to be like.
Yeah.
Where there would be stretches where he is just outright winning you baseball games. This guy is hotter than anybody in baseball. Winning you series, winning you baseball. 24 RBIs from Addison Barger in July. That's almost an RBI a game. He played in 26 games.
Yeah.
So there were stretches where he was, if he wants to do that season again, and, he still put up in the postseason, like, I would be okay with it. I would obviously love to project him to do 25 points more in his OPS, 10 points more in his average, and, 10 more home runs. And I think it's well within the range of outcomes. But I would also be fine if this is the player that he becomes.
And he might be. And, well, we always talk here on Blue Jays Today about adjustments. I feel like everybody talks about adjustments. He made an adjustment in this season. He came out. He got regular playing time. No one saw him coming. He was just aggressive because he made an adjustment from the prior year. He was going to be a damn more aggressive and up and in fastballs. I remember they kept pumping him up and in fastballs. He was hitting those over the wall.
Yeah.
Then they really started to go lefty matchup on him. Sliders away. And then the month of August came around, and in September, he was, he expanded the zone. He was getting a little bit more too aggressive, and he was being volatile. And then come postseason, he made an adjustment. I'm going to lock in. I'm going to have a good plate approach right here, and I'm going to get my up and in fastball back. And he got it, and he did damage. And then that pinch hit home run, first pitch, ambush, bam, home run, grand slam. That was against the Dodgers. Like, he made an adjustment. So that's what I like to see. In his sophomore year, he made the necessary adjustment, because we always talk about every rookie, Trey Savage is going to face this year, is going to face a necessary adjustment period. What can you do when you're faced with that adversity? Well, he did it in the postseason. He proved that he could handle the adversity. So let's see it again this year. Let's see him make those adjustments again.
And he does have all the raw tools, dude, to be elite. He's got all the raw tools, and I think that's why myself and you and everybody is just so enamored with Addison Barger, because you can't teach 93 percentile bat speed
or 99 arm strength,
right? It's like you can't teach that.
Yeah,
you have it or you don't have it. You can go to the gym and you can work on it, but somebody that starts at the 40th percentile of bat speed, doesn't matter how much they go to the gym, they are going to struggle to ever get to where that's just a skill that he's got, and now it's about unlocking that skill and maximizing that skill, and that's similar skills that Jesus Sanchez has.
Exactly.
There's a lot of similarities that Jesus Sanchez and Addison Barger have. The bat speed, identical. Exactly
Literally.
same bat speed. By the way, 4 individuals now in the Toronto Blue Jays have a bat speed in the 90th percentile or more. That's exciting. We can get to anything is what that tells me, and we can also do damage on anything. 91 miles per hour, 91.3 miles per hour exit velocity, average exit velocity right there. Barger just a slight tick higher than that. Whiff rate 0.2% lower than almost identical. Chase rate almost identical, and pull air rate slightly lower. And that is something that I would like to see more of from Jesus Sanchez if he's to come here, because that's going to be when you end up with those home runs getting into that bullpen over there,
Yeah, I like what EJ says here. They Jays like Barger so much, and Jays fans too. They decided to duplicate him, and they did. And again, when we first broke him down, it was like, okay, what can he do against righties? And he might start as just a righty platoon dude, just like Addison Barger was, as well. He's a lefty. He was righty platoon machine. Then there came a moment where it's like, okay, we're actually going to keep you in when the lefties are up. And he did struggle, Barger, but then he, came around and he figured out how to beat lefties. So I'm not too familiar with Jesus. I imagine he obviously hasn't been very successful against lefties because we saw the stats. But I want to know if he'll get an opportunity to face that adversity as well, if he's popping off so much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's the same thing with like David Schneider when he was doing so good against lefties because he's a right-handed hitter. We were saying we got to keep him in for the righties too, and they kept him in that platoon split. It still worked, but we wanted to see what else.
Well, I think honestly now this is David Schneider, but from the other side,
literally,
right? It's like now it's if we're up against a lefty, Dave Schneider in, Jesus Sanchez out.
Yep.
If we're up against a righty, Jesus Sanchez in, David Schneider out. It's like the roles have never been more. They made their choice. Like that is the decision now. Now if the injuries happen or maybe if Jesus Sanchez has a 900 OPS against the righties, eventually you're gonna try his hand at the other guys and see, hey, maybe this works for him. And if it does, great. And then if not, whatever. You'll go back to the way that it was. But like we have a defined lineup choice now when it's righties and when it's lefties. And that's what it's going to be.
Mm-hmm. That's it, man. Hey, and look, that's going to help the team get a lot better. Like, this is just a utility role player, and we got to be able to accept it. And I am accepting, of course, because he's just. I think he's gonna surprise a lot more people than not. And if it doesn't work, okay, whatever. Like we have other guys on the team. We have a lot of depth in the outfield. We still got Miles Straw, Nathan Lucas that we didn't even bring up. Obviously David Schneider as well, who can play the outfield. Addison Barger can play the outfield. Like, there's so much depth there that if it doesn't work out, like, okay, like, I'm sure someone else will pick up the slack as well, right? Mm-hmm. Also, I want to give a shout out to Andrew Imber in here with a $5 donut. Said they gave this donut way, way earlier. We didn't shut it out, but he says, let's go. Let's go, Andrew. Yeah, we're excited to have some baseball back. Let's also give a shout out to a sponsor here at Blue Jays today. I believe it is going to be over. I haven't opened this up in a while. Nope, that's the wrong one. It's Levelwear by Hurley, everybody. Levelwear. I wore it last week. Didn't wear it this week, but they have a really cool campaign, Hurley by Levelwear. It's super cool. It's like a super like California-esque flower kind of vibe. It's for golfers. It's made for casual golfers because baseball is kind of getting more involved into golf. We're seeing a lot of guys like Ernie Clement, Joe Carter doing the tournament. It's becoming a lot more popular, and Hurley's jumping in on it, and they're giving their twist on the whole fashion side of things. So, guys, definitely check it out. It's super cool. You can check out their website down in the description down below. I know I'll be rocking it this year. Nick will be rocking it, especially coming up in spring training. We're going to be wearing our Hurley by Levelwear stuff.
We're going to be at spring training from March 1st to March 6th, really hoping that we were able to get out on the golf course. If not, we're still going to be rocking with some of the Hurley gear. And if you guys are going down to spring training and want to rock it with us, highly recommend. They do have some like products, and it stands out, man. It's like, the term peacocking. It kind of feels like you're doing that, but not like you're not trying too hard, but it's happening naturally, and it's a good thing. I like it.
Especially if you're not that good at golf like me. At least you can feel good.
You can feel good. Shout out to Daniel right here, who just became a starter membership. The great time to do that, man, because we are just starting to kick things off and get into the whole shebang of baseball. I do miss live streams. I do miss live streams. They're coming up soon, guys. Spring training game 1 next Saturday,
1 o'clock.
And I think we'll probably well, you guys let us know. You guys don't watch. Do you guys watch spring training games? And do you want us to go live for these spring training games? I think we got to go live for at least game
the first
1.
And when we go to Florida, and we're trying to work it out. We're going to Dunedin the following week. I think literally the following, or the week after, March 1st to March 6th. And we're trying to do some live streams from Dunedin.
Yes. Yeah. So if you happen to be at any of those games in Florida, in Dunedin, let us know. Maybe you will appear on our YouTube channel.
Yeah, you never know.
So
Let's give one more shout out here to Joey Loperfido, who did leave in that Sanchez trade. It's kind of sad the video came out of him this morning, like showing up to the facility after getting word that he got traded.
Oh,
kind of tough.
Wow.
Immediately gets thrown into like the media fire.
Yeah.
And he had this quote to say on him leaving, saying, "The group, it's a special combination of personalities," talking about the Blue Jays, of course. "Those personalities are capable of a hell of a lot on the field, and obviously showed that last year." And he kind of, he said he also, there's another quote there I read was he was like feeling like he's leaving a much better player. And obviously that's the goal for any baseball player, is to always get better every year. It's kind of crazy that he is going back to the Astros where he originally came from. Maybe he'll do something for the Astros.
They must have really liked him.
They must have.
Yeah.
It
must have really hurt them to give him up because they obviously wanted him back.
Right. So yeah, like, I feel like he'll do something this year for the team. I know that they're going through a little bit of a retool roster-wise, like just bringing up some new fresh waves for the Houston Astros.
Yeah, I haven't heard too much about Houston actually being a strong competitive. It feels like the first year in a long time where we're not actively worried about the Houston Astros being a serious threat. Maybe that's a mistake.
Maybe we're underrating them.
We probably are because they're just always forever good. Is he in?
He's in the lineup.
Wow.
You know what? That's probably good for them.
Oh well, I would say that's incredible for him, right?
Yeah,
because
gets opportunity.
You're allowed. You get to move over to a place that you theoretically should be familiar with.
Yeah.
And if they're putting you in the lineup, that's just something that you were never going to get here. So, what's better for Joey Loperfido as the player and as the baseball guy? Probably going and playing every day for the Houston Astros rather than the Buffalo Bisons, which is what Toronto could have offered you. So, just from an overall, standpoint from him, I mean, you got to be, as much as it's tough to leave your guys, leave your friends, like, this is ultimately what's best for your career.
This is literally a promotion. Like, I'm excited.
You just got paid hundreds of thousands of more dollars.
Oh, yeah. And, like, I'm looking over here, too, at what the guys did last year in the outfield. Like, Cam Smith, a 671 OPS. Jake Myers, 727. Looked like he was more of a defensive kind of guy. That's kind of it. Zach Cole, I mean, he was a young guy, short sample size. But, like, he can go fit in and fight for a job.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, again, Houston still got a couple guys up top who are pretty elite. I mean, Yordan Alvarez might genuinely be the most underrated player in baseball. He is top 5 hitter when healthy. Top 5 hitter when healthy.
But their entire it's all infield up there.
Yeah. And then when the lineup kind of carries on, you do see a rather significant fall off. Not as deep as they used to be when it was, what was it? It was Springer, then it went Altuve, then Bregman, then Correa, then Yordan, then they had a few other guys in there too. Brantley was in there. Who was really good. There was another one that I'm missing that was like
Kyle Tucker was at the bottom of the lineup.
Oh, Kyle Tucker was at the bottom as well. Their lineup was so stupid for a couple years there, so I'm happy that we don't have to deal with that anymore.
Yeah.
But somehow I'm sure that they will find a way to be good.
Other Gurriel, Uriel.
He was Yuli Gurriel, and he was always very, very good, similar to his brother, but better than his brother. Yeah, honestly, at times Yuli Gurriel was. So yeah, they had such a stupid lineup, man. Happy that we don't have to deal with them anymore, and hopefully won't be seeing them at all. Honestly,
no, less threats in the American League, the better. Because right now the only real threats are like obviously Seattle. Seattle's a threat,
and then it's the American League East.
And then it's the American League East. Yeah.
But
maybe Detroit too. We're sleeping on them a little bit.
No. Actually, you're so right, dude. I think Detroit is Detroit's rotation is awesome. I do think upon reflection, it's probably better than our rotation.
They added Framber, and then they also added Justin Verlander, which what's he gonna do?
Right, like he actually did pretty well last year for Justin. Like 4-3 or no, that's a projection. Sorry, but
better.
Yeah, exactly. Like he actually did. I knew that he did okay.
Yeah,
it's like that's a stupid good rotation. And then they also knocked somebody else out, who's now like on their bench in some capacity, who is like pretty decent too. So yeah, their rotation is filthy. And their offense was good enough last year. Like if they can, take just a tiny little bit, this is going to be a good team. This is going to be a good team. They're a lock to win the American League Central. They're a problem. Seattle's a problem. And then it's just every single fucking AL East team
Literally.
that is a problem.
Even, like, can't even count out the Guardians, really, either, because they'll kind of always be around. Like, it's just, yeah. I mean, it's a very competitive American League. It's still not as good as the National League. They're very good over there, but it's still going to be tough.
And honestly, I can out the Cleveland Guardians.
They're always there.
They're pesky. They are pesky for sure, but not in the same caliber, not in the same tier of those other teams.
Yeah, like,
anyway,
I mean, they're very clear. Like they're kind of like the Rays of the Central,
pretty much.
Well, actually they are. They got one superstar, Ramirez, whereas the Rays got Caminero. And then they have, like, pitching staff that will somehow be really good every single year. But we'll see. Oh, yeah, they've got no more Clase. That's actually be a major factor.
Well,
no
not
more
really, though, because Cade Smith is really good, too.
No.
Yeah.
Well, they got Hunter
right
Gaddis, too. What the fuck? Oh, well. Yeah, they're going to be pesky. They'll be around. But honestly, yeah, AL East is going to be way, way more competitive this year.
It will be stupid, dude. We were going through some of the projections, folks, like in just terms of their over-unders. It's hard not to pick the over on every single one of the teams.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Because, you think about Toronto, and their over-under is 88.5. And for me, like, 88.5? Worst case scenario, I think we stayed the same from last year to this year, talent in, talent out. You could make an argument that we stayed the same. We won 94 games last year. So if we stayed the same and you're not going to stand, you're taking away 5 wins, that's still a lot of wiggle room right there. I gotta take the over there, and then there's also the argument that we could have even got better.
Yeah, and you need the guys to perform. You need the guys, especially all the supporting cast members. Like, think about how throughout the year, like, you're kind of reflecting, like, yeah, there's stretch where Addison Barger went crazy. There's stretches where it's like there was Ernie Clement, there was Nathan Lucas, there was Alejandro Kirk, and it's like it felt like every single time of the year someone was hot. The only time that someone wasn't hot was around that September stretch when Bo got hurt.
There was a tiny moment where it was like, oh no, we're going into playoffs and everybty is getting cold.
Yep.
Little did we know they were actually just saving. They were storing up. It's like in a video game, you gotta store your juice for your big attacks. That's what they were doing.
Yeah,
and then they just unloaded the second we got to October. It was like all the reserves were full and all their ultimate attacks were ready to go, and they went to town, dude.
The one guy that didn't unload was Nathan Lucas. I remember I kept picking him for home runs. Remember, I was like, he's due. He's got to do it.
Right.
And he just never did.
Yeah, Dalton Varsho as well. The second that the lights decided to turn on, he was ghost mode,
gone.
Which is a problem.
Actually, I remember the Seattle series. He had like 3 hits the entire series, but those 3 hits were like crucial game-changing percentage hits. Well, he had to do it when he had to do it, I guess.
Yeah, I guess that is fair, man. That is definitely fair. Let's take a moment, actually, and shout out the other sponsor of this video, Sports Interaction, everybody. This is all presented by Sports Interaction, Sportsbook and Casino. Every game is your game when you bet with Sports Interaction, Canada's homegrown sportsbook. We got a couple lines for you. They are up right here.
Oh, got the wrong ones. It didn't want to update, whatever. It's coming. It's about the American League East.
Yeah.
And betting on who's going to be first and second. I'll pull it up in just a moment.
It's tough, man. It is difficult. My bias wants to say Toronto, but we aren't the favorites. The money is saying otherwise, and the money is saying that the New York Yankees will be first and the Blue Jays will be second.
Yeah.
And funnily enough, wow, that's crazy. Then No. The second favorite is, what is that? Is it Jays first and Yankees second? That's tied with Yankees first, Red Sox second.
That's wild. And then you can go down. I believe the fourth one, I guess that would be Red Sox first, Yankees second. They're a little bit sleeping on the Jays in terms of the sports books right now.
I do get it. Like, well, I don't. I mean, because I think they're factoring in all of the good play in this division. Like, there's a lot of good players. Good teams here. Good teams. And this is one of those things where, I mean, we saw it last year, right? Like, we can't walk in blind and biased assuming that Toronto's got this division in the bag, because that's what Yankees fans did last year when they went to the World Series and they lost to the Dodgers, and every Yankees fan would have bet you their left nut that Toronto wouldn't win the division. They would have bet you anything.
Well, let's take that into consideration. What if, because the last place team was the Orioles, what if they flip it all around and they win?
Not impossible. Not impossible.
Actually, let me look at that. Orioles first, Blue Jays second. It's not up on the chart because it's way down there. Orioles first, Blue Jays second. You get 15 times your money back. That's not a bad idea.
Dude, I genuinely think that like this division feels like one of the hardest divisions to win back-to-back.
Mm-hmm.
We had our moment last year. I'm not saying we can't do it again, but this is
hard.
a really tough division to win back-to-back. You throw back to those football fans over there. I believe it's the NL, whichever the division the Cowboys are in. NL East,
NL
I think,
South?
or NFC.
NFC South. NFC South.
Is it NFC South? Okay.
Yeah. I think. Yeah.
No one ever wins that
No,
division.
East.
I think it's East, dude. I think it's East.
East.
NFC East. No one ever wins that division back to back.
No.
Ever.
Yeah.
There's a historical run of it. It never happens. And every time they walk in and there's a heavy favorite, and this is the team that's gonna, but it never works out that way. And it kind of feels like we're in that era of AL East baseball right now. You know, years prior it was Yankees, Red Sox. It's gonna be one of those two. I don't know if that's the case anymore. Like, Jays could do it. Red Sox could do it. Yankees, of course, could do it. And Orioles could do it.
Yeah.
And even the Tampa Bay Rays, they have proven in the past. They have proven in the past that when you forget about them and when you sleep on them, that's when they win 99 games.
Yeah.
And it was only a couple years removed that they did that.
Bro, the one thing I do know about Blue Jays and the AL East is that anything could effing happen. Like, literally anything can happen, so don't be surprised. That's why, and I made this argument about the Dodger fans, how it's, like, not going to be exciting for them to watch regular season baseball, like, for the division chase, because you're going to win. You're going to win the NL West. And then Dodger fans get on me, like, being like, no, that's bullshit, blah, blah, which I get. Yeah, sure. You still want to watch baseball.
I'm with you, brother. I think it's boring as hell for
right, because what am I chasing? What the whole point of watching the regular season is to fight for a playoff spot. If I'm already guaranteed a playoff spot, literally 99.1% chance, which is what it was on according to Fangraphs, what am I doing here?
Yeah, there's no it takes the stakes out of it. Now it's still fun for them to watch because it's like, how good are we gonna be?
Yeah, how good, yeah, exactly.
How dominant are we gonna say? Really, what they're watching, it's a different thing. It's a completely different thing. They're watching for, are we gonna set the record?
Are we going to set the all-time record?
For the most,
yeah,
are we going to,
wins,
are we going to be able to eclipse 110? Because there's only been, I think, 5 or 6 teams in the history of MLB that have eclipsed the 110 win total. Are we going to, the fact that they weren't, because I don't think they won 100 last year, right? They were below 100.
Yeah, it was
the fact that they didn't win 100 is actually embarrassing.
Yeah,
that's embarrassing. You need to be winning with your team 105 minimum, in my opinion.
I'm trying to find what their line is on Sports Interaction, but there's actually, they've opened up so many new future event pages on Sports Interaction. It's actually so much to go through, so I can't find it right off the top. But let me conclude that segment, actually. Shout out to Sports Interaction, Sportsbook and Casino, everyone. They've got you covered during the regular season with pitch-by-pitch live betting and easy deposits and payout. Every game is your game when you bet with Sports Interaction. Go to sportsinteraction.com/BJN to open an account. Ontario only, 19+. Please play responsibly. You can bet on the Dodgers to win. I bet their line's probably like something down like 101 or 102, and like over under.
I think it is that, actually. I think it's right around there, yeah.
I would probably bet the over. I would actually bet the over.
Really, the only thing that we would, I guess, hinder you is the World Series hangover, which they are now hungover twice in a row, I guess.
Yeah, true. Getting hungover twice in a row is pretty bad. That's the third day.
The problem is, Ohtani will never be hungover because he will. That's the thing. He's got. I'm pretty confident he's got the Tom Brady type of mentality where we go, we party at the parade, and then we're back in the goddamn gym.
Yeah,
like right after that.
Yeah,
we're back in the gym.
He'll never be hungover.
He's a crazy person like that, right? And he's the leader, and therefore You might have individuals like Kike Hernandez who are a bit hungover, but they're going to see Ohtani and they're going to go, oh, damn, like I got to lock in.
Yeah.
So he's a leader.
And that's why they get guys like Kyle Tucker who won't be hungover because he didn't party with them.
Oh, also, I forgot that they got Kyle Tucker. I forgot that they got that guy.
Dude, I saw a video of him in the Dodgers, spring training camp, and he was just standing around doing nothing, and someone commented like, yep, already in mid-season form, getting carried by the rest of the team. Like, it's like, yeah, I mean, that's like, you can have guys like Mookie Betts last year have a bad year for Mookie Betts standards, and it'll be fine because you'll have other guys doing great work.
And I wouldn't be surprised at all if Betts just turned it on this year again, right? Because that's just what he does, and he's probably a Hall of Famer, and Ohtani's a Hall of Famer, and Freeman's a Hall of Famer, and maybe even Kyle Tucker will be a Hall of Famer if he keeps doing what he's doing.
Winning rings.
And their whole pitching staff is filled with Hall of Famers, and
yep, here we go again. Oh man, it exhausts me talking about the Dodgers.
But this is why it's a different type of viewing experience.
Right.
If you're a Dodgers fan, because wholeheartedly that you're gonna you're gonna make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just how badly are we gonna beat them? You could tune out for months, and it's fine.
You know how we get scared if we see like a Vladdy injury, knocking on wood, or like a Springer injury or whatever, like star players doing really good. You know how like we get that empty, sinking feeling in our stomach where it's like, oh shit, this is really bad for the team. Like, oh my God, like this could be detrimental to our chances to win playoffs. They could have Freeman, Mookie all go down. They could lose 2 starting pitchers. They could lose Snell and Yamamoto. They'll be fine.
Right.
Like how many injuries will take for a Dodger fan to feel like, oh shit, our chances of making playoffs is in the hanging in the balance.
Here's the thing though, on the other side of the coin, and I just thought of this, they're also so good of a team that anytime they lose a series, the sky will be falling.
Oh, it's always the sky falling.
And that, I guess, that would get old pretty quick for me. Because it's like you lose one series against a subpar opponent.
Yeah.
They we take a weekend off and we lose to the Reds. Sky falling.
Oh, yeah.
It's sell the team. Dave Roberts gone. Ohtani washed. That will be the reactions that the media and honestly Dodgers fans will probably do it themselves. So that would get old for me pretty quick.
Yeah. I almost feel I wonder this too, if there are any Dodger fans, like hardcore Dodger fans out there. I know there's a lot of them that like are really, really cool, understand baseball, no ball, and they won't react to that. But I wonder if there's a lot of new Dodger fans because of all the recent success and the hype and the bringing the players that like haven't learned that the sky isn't falling when you lose to a bad team and aren't over. Like there's so many Dodger fans that comment on our videos too that like it's always this or nothing. And I wonder if, like, how the current Dodger fans feel about that. If they've experienced new bandwagoners all of a sudden out of nowhere in the last few years and are like, wow, like, this is kind of like making us look bad.
Speaking from experience, you guys can actually play like shit and still win. So, Edward in here with a $5 donation saying Jesus Sanchez has elite bat speed and so much untapped power. He just needs to learn how to square up the ball more. And I think Popkins will help, and we're in the exact same boat, dude. Earlier in this podcast, we were talking extensively about him, but we're right there with you. Mm-hmm. A lot of the raw skills, a lot of the raw talent. Excellent project for David Popkins.
We also got another donor here, Money Dude 32, $5 donor. Thank you, my man. Saying this is an interesting one. I don't even know who this guy is. Send Nathan Lucas, Adam Macko, and Charles McAdoo to the White Sox for Jordan Leisure. I love Leisure's upside. Who is that?
Would have to look into that.
Is he a top prospect or something?
Would have to look in Jordan Leisure. I've never heard of that name before, dude.
Jordan Leisure.
We're
looking up as we speak here, Money Dude.
I might expose myself here. No, okay. Well, he's on the White Sox, so I can't possibly expose myself. Nobody's expected to know White Sox players.
This guy is.
For those of you wondering, last year he had a 3.92 ERA over 64 innings. So small sample size in MLB. Young kid. I'm assuming top prospect for the Chicago White Sox. But here's the thing, right? If he's a top prospect for the Chicago White Sox, why would they trade Nathan Lucas for him? Or why would they want
Nathan Lucas? And also, like, Nathan Lucas, Adam Macko probably isn't really developing into a hell of a lot. Like, maybe a ceiling he hits the big leagues for a year or two, and he's mid. But then McAdoo is also kind of the same thing. I don't know if he's ever going to hit the big leagues. would I want to trade Nathan Lucas for a top prospect? Probably.
Well,
if it's a top prospect, but we're probably not going to get him.
You're right. Like, maybe he does have some decent upside, right?
I have known nothing about him other than his
I know
92 ERA.
I know that last year he was good and serviceable.
But so was Nathan
this
Lucas.
is what I know. At 27 years old, definitely could be something.
Definitely. You
But thank you very much for the donation. Shout out to the 200 people who are watching right now, everybody. Let's take a quick moment and just relish in some of the highlights that we've had come out recently, especially from some of the newer Blue Jays. Keegan Matheson's been getting nice up close. He's right behind Alejandro Kirk right there. I'm assuming he zoomed in a little bit, but
there he is. There's our boy.
There's Alejandro, and there's Cody Ponce taking a few throws with his new catcher right there.
Yeah.
It's very exciting. We haven't talked a whole lot about Cody Ponce because there's just been so many other guys to talk about, but I do wonder what the upside can be with him. I feel like I'm hesitant to put any expectations on him just simply because it was the KBO, and when he was in MLB, he wasn't very good, but
it's been 4 years, and he's added new pitch arsenal.
Totally different guy, right?
Yeah, different player, different pitcher. And, I don't want to... That's saying, like, if he was our one, starting pitcher addition that we made, we'd probably be more high on him because we want him to be really good. But now that you got Dylan Cease and so many other players, you're like, yeah, if he is, if he's not, it's okay. It's whatever. It's also not getting paid that much. But he could absolutely be a pleasant surprise for Blue Jay fans and Toronto Blue Jays, where he could just come out here and be serviceable.
Mm-hmm.
Like a high 3, a low 4, and it's like, okay, cool, we'll take it, right? Like, I would. What would you want? What would you expect? Actually, let me start with this question: what would you be satisfied with Cody Ponce doing in his year 1 as a Blue Jay? Like numbers-wise.
I would love it if he could. If he could do something like what Ross Stripling did with it. I always use Ross Stripling as an example because he just did his role so well.
Right.
And he started when he was needed to. He pitched out of the bullpen when it was necessary.
Well, look at his numbers.
And I feel like Cody Ponce has the potential to be one of those guys. Maybe they're committed, like fully committed to him just being a starter. Or maybe that's the way of it. And if that's the way of it, then okay, even better, right? Like if he can be good as just a starter, that'd be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like. It's tough for me to immediately project that for him.
Yeah. He had 101 innings, 134 innings when he played with the Blue Jays.
It was that 2022 year, dude. That year,
that was an awesome year.
Was so good for us.
He made it. He literally changed his windup, and it changed everything. And
yeah,
he was awesome. Like again, like his career with the Blue Jays, he had a 3.94 ERA. And through his years, he had some bullpen role, he had some starting role. That's kind of what I'm predicting. If he could pitch for a 4 ERA. Give me 150 innings. I think you've done your job.
Yeah, like just don't be a liability, I guess.
Yeah, don't be a liability.
Right? If you can pitch innings and not be a liability, I think that's a pretty big win. I'm not setting the bar very high for Cody Ponce.
No.
Just get on the mound. You'll give up runs.
Yeah.
But do we have a chance to win more times with you than not?
Yeah.
I'm sure that there'll be games that he just blows wide open and
sure.
That's just the way of it, right?
He's got to make an adjustment, too. He's got to readjust to the league,
He's not been in MLB for a while. So even though he won KBO MVP, different than coming back over here. Probably some nerves associated with it as well. But as long as you're not, totally blowing every other game, then I think we're going to be perfectly fine. And you're in a spot where we don't really need you to be that guy because we do have so many other individuals.
Yeah.
I need somebody to tell me, though, somebody very smart, the KBO, how does it relate nowadays to MLB? Like, where are they? I know that NPB is getting a lot closer to MLB.
They're like quad A. That's what people would call them. Like they're like quad A.
Yeah, and I think their top tier talent is on par with MLB, but it's just the depth isn't the same, right? Like they're the third and fourth pitchers in NPB are not the same as the third and fourth pitchers in MLB, right?
Yeah.
But their aces could be MLB caliber pitchers, right? So I guess that's why it would be a quad A situation. But where is KBO? Del Simris is saying that it's roughly a double A to a triple A thing.
2.5. 2.5. That makes sense.
And if that's the case, that's why I'm not putting really that many expectations on Cody Ponce at all. Because, okay, you were the best player in Double A.
Yeah.
There's a big difference, big tier jump from AA or, fringe AAA to MLB.
Yeah, like when you look at Trey Savage, like you could argue he was the best player in the minors or one of the best pitchers in the entire minor leagues. And he's coming up here, and as some people are hyping up his expectations, but realistically, we're kind of in the same boat as like Cody Ponce. Like, give me like a 4 in innings.
Yeah,
just prove that you can do it this year.
Savage has got an insane ceiling, and hopefully one day he can unlock that. But I've been hit too recently and too regularly with elite starting pitching talent falling off a cliff from Toronto.
Pearson,
so right now, honestly,
Noah.
right now for me, I stay healthy and develop.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm not getting my hopes up too high. I know that everyone's like, a lot of people are thinking Trey Savage is going to come out and save the day, and he might be awesome, but like, just be healthy and pitch the season in a comfortable innings limit. Because speaking of former top prospects, there's this guy who I forgot about for a while
because he was injured.
Because he got injured, and then he went through the whole Tommy John and did that whole thing. Now he is coming back. There's Ricky Tiedemann here. This is him up against Vladdy, taking some at bats here. Vladdy ended up working a walk, I guess, in this simulated at bat. But Ricky Tiedemann could play a role with Toronto in some capacity in 2026. That'll be exciting.
Yeah,
that will be interesting.
People are projecting him to be a bullpen guy. Come August, he'll start out in AAA and get some work down there, and then when his workload kind of comes near an end, this is what you see a lot with a lot of these young guys. Oh, he's got like 20 innings left on his workload. Bring him up to the big leagues if he's doing well. Pitch that final 20 innings. It's a meaningful baseball because that lefty with high velo, that's something the Blue Jays don't have. Again, you have like Brandon Little and Eric Lauer. Eric Lauer throws low velocity. Lower now in today's baseball. Same with Brendan Little, who's more of a junky knuckle curve kind of guy. This guy's gonna change the look a little bit of velocity, a little zip coming on a lot of players, and especially if he only has one inning to unload. Like, I don't know what his velocity is gonna look like in spring training. We'll have to see what it can touch. But if he could touch like 99, close to 100 again, like he did before he got hurt, that will be a huge weapon for the Jays. So for him, same as Trey Savage. Just stay healthy.
Yeah.
He's just 23 years old, too. Not too far off from Trey Savage. That will be a well-needed addition for the Blue Jays.
Yeah, man, and we've been screaming for a long time about the lefty. If Tiedemann can take any of that load off, we are in a much better position than we are right now. You guys know that we have been very loud about how it's Little and Lauer and nobody other than that from a lefty standpoint on the entire team.
Yeah, the entire team.
Starters included. That's a problem. That's a big problem. If we were up against a team of Jesus Sanchez's, we would be screwed. Jesus Sanchez we probably traded for him so we don't have to play against him.
That's right.
Because he would screw us up so bad. Again, all righties on this team. So big problem for Toronto. Hopefully Ricky Tiedemann can help solve that. And hopefully this guy can solve a little bit of that as well. Just considering he comes from such a weird arm slot. This is Tyler Rogers doing a couple simulated at-bats right here. And, I know it's difficult for you guys to see, but look at that.
Oh, God.
Just coming from
down under,
yeah, literally,
bro.
man. It's like that is a wicked and just wild way of throwing the baseball. The fact that he has any control on that at all is a miracle of God.
Dude, I remember trying to do like submarine pitching when like I was in high school and I was like going through a struggle. I was like, let me just try and see if it's for me. Dude, I would like throw the ball in the air. Like I would come under and like throw it up. Like I don't understand.
No, I was actually just thinking to myself, you see that big that net behind him?
Yeah.
I would struggle
hitting the net,
like with full power, submarining it to consistently hit the net.
Wow.
I think, let alone the strike zone.
Fuck.
And be painting, putting it inches away. Yeah. Like the fact that he can do that on a regular basis is truly insane. So very excited to watch Tyler Rogers do what he does with the Toronto Blue Jays. That is going to be awesome.
Now we got like one more video I wanted to show you guys. It's about Bichette, actually. Don't want to trigger anyone, but it's about Bichette. And then we'll get to some of the questions that you guys sent in via our mailbag. Bichette, obviously he's reporting for spring training, and he's now playing third base for the New York Mets. And one of the big concerns, it hasn't looked super encouraging. Maybe he's just getting loose. But yeah, I'm gonna be very fixated on his success defensively at the shortstop position.
I hope the best for him. I hope that he ends up popping off and shutting all of us up. But this feels like
I don't feel confident that maybe he's going 50% or 70%, but it's tough.
Dude, it
tough.
just feels like all your guys are telling you that this girl's got red flags.
Yeah.
But you're saying you can fix her. You alone can change her. And they're saying, God, dude, like, I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
I know.
You can't.
And it's not even that, like, I want him to do – I don't want Bo to do bad. It's that, like, the Mets overpaid a shitload and then made him a third baseman just because they wanted the bat. And I get it. He's an awesome player. And Bo has really no choice. It's like, okay, well, you have some studs playing second base and shortstop. You have to put me somewhere. Okay, I guess I'll play third. But it's like, that's the Mets. I want the Mets to make a bad choice. You know, that's what I'm saying here. I want them to make it. Because, like, we're all screaming, like, don't. Remember that whole guy, it was from New York, actually. I don't know if he's Mets or New York. But, like, a New York sports analyst was saying, like, yeah, I've seen some good stuff from Bo Bichette, and he can play third. And we all reacted like, are you crazy?
You haven't. You have not.
He's never played third and is not fit to play third. So I just want to be right in that regards. But I do want Bo on the other side of things to find success.
Yo, this is a good question. I just thought of this right now. So Santonio in here saying, no in our luck, Bo wins his first Gold Glove at third base. That'd be crazy.
That would be ludicrous.
What's more likely? What is more likely? Alejandro Kirk, 3 stolen bags this year.
Oh, fuck.
Bo Bichette, Gold Glove at third base. What is more likely?
That's a good question.
I mean, they both feel so improbable.
Both aren't happening. Yikes. Okay. Bo will never win a Gold Glove. I just don't think he'll ever win a Gold Glove. Could Kirk steal 3 bases? He stole 1. You know, that seal was broken last year. That myth was busted.
Right.
That he could never do it. Can he do it 3 times? I think if he wanted to.
He's got to catch him off guard 3 times.
Yeah.
Right?
Like, they have – exactly.
They got to be asleep.
I think if Kirk wanted to, he could. Yeah, I'd take Kirk, actually.
I think I would.
I think I would take Kirk stealing 3 bases.
And that is a horrible way of looking at Bo Bichette. But it just goes to show how I think how much we've watched him, and at this point are convinced that it is not like it's not that. If he does figure it out with New York, all the power to him. Amazing. I'm going to be happy for the guy. I really will.
Yeah.
I have zero faith that is going to happen.
None. Guys, let's transition to our mailbag. We got 3 questions, including a video question here from Hayden, a big Blue Jays Today and Blue Jays fan. Let me know if you guys can hear this in the chat. Hayden, let's hear your question here, my man.
Hey, Blue Jays Today, guys. I'm just wondering, what is your current favorite Blue Jays jersey? Because personally, this one is my favorite.
Rockin' the City
out.
Connect, of course, dude.
Yes.
I mean, it's tough.
You guys didn't hear it. let me throw it back here. Hayden, again with your question.
Hey, Blue Jays Today, guys. I'm just wondering, what is your current favorite Blue Jays jersey? Because personally, this one is my favorite.
Shout out Hayden once again. There's his question.
Yeah, man. I mean, that is a good one. Do you know if they're gonna put the 50-year patch on those?
Probably, yeah. I would assume so.
On the City Connect?
Yeah.
Because I feel like at any point at this point moving forward, it's like it's always gonna be like I need the 50.
The 50. Yeah.
My
God, I'm gonna buy one this year.
And well, hold up. Did they get a World Series something on anything?
Gotta win it.
They gotta win it. Like no American League champion type of something.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, well, I guess I would have to say that jersey, but with the 50 on it. Then
I do love the City Connects. Don't get me wrong. And I've actually said I wanted to buy one. And in fact, it probably will be my next jersey. But I love the baby blues. I don't know. I also love the pure whites. I'm not going to lie. There's something about the pure, just the classic white home jersey that's just, it's mint. It is mint. And especially with the 50 on the patch, like that might go kind of hard. But I'm a sucker for the baby blues. I think it just reminds me of the entire era of Blue Jays baseball and Blue Jays today as well. I'm a sucker.
That's fair. That is definitely fair, man. We got a couple more questions from you guys, but thank you, Hayden, for submitting that right there. Drew Gamer with a long one, as per usual, saying, well, thanks to the Sanchez trade, now I have to update my last question. Since we now have a hole in left field, we have ourselves a competition for who will take that spot. Babe, Lucas, Sanchez, Straw, Clase, Shrek, all of these guys can get playing time. My question is, which of these guys do you think will play the best and have the best season, and who do you think will positively surprise you? Personally, he's thinking Davis and Sanchez, platooning lefties and righties will go off, and Shrek will be a pleasant surprise this season, like Horwitz in 2023. Adam, you first.
I'm going to say Babe's going to pleasantly surprise people. Because, again, like, we're kind of just chopping him from Babe. I don't know.
You know, I kind of think that maybe Miles Straw could do something.
Oh, yeah?
And that's a little wild of me to say, but I feel like no one ever talks about Miles Straw.
No one ever talks about Miles Straw.
No one ever talks about Miles Straw. He's going to be on the team. You might see Miles Straw chilling on the bench with a 2.5 WAR. Yeah. And, low 700 OPS with I'm hoping, kind of like an Ernie Clement type of slash line. And you're going to go, oh, shoot, yeah, like that guy has been actually doing it all season. No one ever talked about him, but he was kind of doing it all season long.
What did he do last year? I thought he was close.
It wasn't great.
Was it not?
I think it was. I think it was like a low 600 OPS, if I'm not mistaken.
Again, Miles even had moments.
Okay, I was a little wrong.
Okay,
but look at that, a 2.9 WAR, and he had 267 at bats,
262 batting average. That's all I'm looking at for a guy who doesn't have power. Is like, what's your batting average? 262 with a 313 on base.
Like, I mean, that might have even been a bit of a undersell for me, right? Like, you might see if Miles Straw gets a tiny little bit more playing time. You might see Miles Straw with like a 3.5 WAR.
That's the thing.
When it's all said and done.
Look at what Ernie, it's actually still shocks me how Ernie threw up a 4.3 WAR last year because he had playing time.
Yeah.
And he played defense.
Yeah.
That's a stud. This guy doubled. I believe he doubled. That math works out. Yes. His career WAR last year just because of the playing time. Ernie's kind of a dog. Like, again, if Miles had playing time as well, he might do the same thing.
Listen, I'm not saying that Miles Straw is going to, win us a whole, literally carry us or anything. But one of those ones where when it's all said and done, I think you'll look back on it and go, it wasn't sexy, wasn't pretty. There's not, any crazy home run highlights. But that guy delivered all season long.
Yes, he did.
Final question here coming in from Nikki saying, who, if anyone, do you anticipate being on the trading block now? Ross has indicated openness to continued acquisitions. Good question.
Good question.
Who would be on the trade block at this current juncture? I don't think that they're trading away anyone from the starting pitching staff. I know that people have been flirting with Barrios, but at this point, with no Shane Bieber, that just doesn't feel like that's likely at all. You know who they could trade? Actually, I just thought of this right now. They could trade Eric Lauer.
They could trade Eric Lauer. I think they like the option.
I love the option as well. But if someone, it's one of those things where how does a team value them? If someone else was valuing Eric Lauer like a starting pitcher and willing to pay for him like a starting pitcher, just like Houston was willing to pay for Joey like a starting player, then maybe you could talk yourself into it. I don't want to trade him. Right. I'm just saying, I'm trying to think of anyone that could be in a situation where maybe they get more value than what they're getting.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest, guys. On the 26-man roster, I feel like it's, kind of complete. After that Sanchez trade, right now, it feels complete. I know we flirted with the idea of maybe we trade for a starter, and that could be a possibility. That's just, adding, complements to the roster. But I don't know if they want to get rid of anybody on the 26-man. Maybe you're right. If that helps us get an elite lefty or another elite lefty in the bullpen or something like that. But I feel like right now, just for trade blocks, I feel like obviously because it is a win now window, any of the prospects could go other than probably Trigger Savage. I'm serious, even JoJo or Arjun and Ricky, if it comes trade deadline and we really need a certain asset that we're not seeing right now because we haven't seen the baseball season play out, then any one of those guys can go. It's time to win now, not win later. We want to go back to the ring or go back to World Series and get a ring this year. So, yeah, That's the trade block.
Yeah,
None of
it's
these guys.
Tough to see at this current juncture anyone major from the starting roster leaving. Maybe Lucas, maybe Eric Lauer,
those guys.
but it's difficult to wrap your head around it. And yeah, somebody like a JoJo or somebody like an Arjun, especially one of those two guys. I mean, you got two shortstops there.
Yeah.
Do we need to?
Yeah, like it's nice to have two to like take two shots at getting an elite shortstop.
I like it. I do like it.
But take a shot at the World Series.
Yeah, again, if it's a difference between getting a right now ready win now guy or hopefully one of them will develop, then no, you're gonna do that.
Like even AJ Marash saying like Lucas could get traded, like he could, but like he plays such a good role on the team.
And now that Santander is out,
exactly,
you might need some more. You might need some more Nathan Lucas.
That's it. Overall, guys, this team is just at a good spot.
Yeah.
Like I'm ready for baseball. I'm honestly ready for the regular season, but we're gonna get a taste of some Florida spring training baseball next Saturday, not tomorrow. Next Saturday, we'll be live for it, and then as well after that, we'll be going to spring training in Dunedin a couple weeks after that. So
I'm happy that there's World Baseball Classic baseball this year because spring training is such a tease.
Oh,
I like the first game or two. And then I don't care anymore, and I'm ready for actual meaningful games.
And it
happens every time.
Because it's after the fifth inning. It's like, well, what do I get hyped up for?
Yeah.
the guys that came here to watch are gone.
And it's, for real. But, folks, that is the Blue Jays Today show. Let us know your thoughts about all this in the comments down below. Please make sure to hit that like, smash that subscribe button. We appreciate every single one of you guys for tuning in. The 153 of you. Also, can we get up to 69 likes? We're at 59 right now.
I haven't heard that in a long time.
I haven't said that in a long time, but 10 likes away. So hit that like button on your way out. Have an exceptional weekend, every single one of you. We will catch you next time. And as always,
Go Jays, go!